Some trees regenerate by dropping seeds. Other trees do so through suckers and shoots. But the yew tree can bow a branch to the earth, and from there begin growing new roots. Greetings, beloveds. This is Amy Caryn Johnson here with you with the third of what will be an 8-part series on the opening the gates of the diamond heart. The diamond heart, as I call it, is equivalent to the G center in human design, if you're familiar with that. I do associate it with the heart because it is right in the center and the place where your heart chakra would be, and represents love as well as identity, direction, and sense of purpose in life. So depending upon which of these gates you naturally have defined in your birth chart, you may feel predisposed towards those particular things. But if you do not have them, certain gates defined, then these videos are a way of accessing that energy whenever you wish to. It may just take a little more focus on your part. So that was the first part of the poem I wrote about this gate, which in this case is the 10th gate. I haven't mentioned that yet, which I have chosen the yew tree to represent. It also is connected to the December Solstice, which is coming in about 10 days from the time I'm making this video. I will go ahead now and connect with Mother Earth, Gaia, and bring forward a message from her. If you would like to join me in connecting to her, feel free to also close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Hello, this is Gaia. In tapping into the energy of the 10th gate, the yew gate, Y-E-W is in the yew tree. You may also know it as a shrub, depending on where you live and what you might be familiar with. It indeed helps to examine at least the possibility that yews have of regenerating by dropping a branch down to the ground and generating new roots in that place, and thereby a new yew tree or yew shrub. In this way, because of these connections that can be seen at times, the same yew can be seen to live for a very long time. The original shrub or tree may have rotted out from the inside, and even this rotting, of course, is a form of life, but it is one that does not so much resemble the life of the yew as we know it. And yet from the outside it may still appear so. It may not appear fresh and new. You may be able to detect its age, its wisdom, the experiences it has been through. But you can probably also sense that just out of sight, or maybe even slightly within sight, are signs of a different kind of life form taking over. Perhaps a fungus of some kind. Especially in the British Isles, and perhaps also somewhat in Europe, yew trees are known to grow in cemeteries. And so this too reflects the connection of yews with the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Finally, the yew tree is known to be poisonous. And yet, of course, while containing that poison, the yew tree lives. And by having this poison within it, the yew protects itself. It is not a source for foraging by animals and that kind of thing. That also helps it to live longer and a fuller life. So what can we learn from this metaphor of the yew tree? You may also notice that if you have the good fortune to observe a yew tree regenerating in this way, through its branches reaching to the ground, it appears to travel. It expands and covers new ground. So when you begin to contemplate the ways in which you want to branch out in life, the new things you'd like to try, the ways you would like to grow, you will also need to examine the old things in your life that may hold you back if you do not go beyond them. By dipping a branch to the ground, the yew tree shows us that it can let go of needing that particular branch to continue growing, continue going up and up. In a way, it ends when it goes to the ground, even though new life comes from it. And very much so in the image of this type of yew tree, you see the connection between the old and the new. It is ongoing. The old one does not have to completely die at all, or if it does, the new life is continued with this connected part. So what is holding you back on your path? When you tread certain paths, how do you feel? Do you feel the way you want to feel? Do you complete a round on that path only to then discover that you do not feel the way you want to feel? And then try to get back to feeling better by treading a different path, and yet finding yourself drawn back to the old one out of habit. Maybe not a physical habit, maybe only a mental habit. How do you forge a new way? And how much of the old way do you need to let go of in order to do so? We do not propose to give you the answers to those questions here and now, because they are different for each and every one of you. But simply by asking those questions, you are on your way. Amy used to find that when she spent time with people from her past, some people, when she returned home, she did not feel so good. And sometimes when she first started noticing this, it would take weeks or maybe even a month or more in order to get back to the way she wanted to feel. And so she looked at what it would take in order to feel better, whether that was limiting the time that she spent with certain people from the past, or having more time in between. For her, it was not a choice of stopping seeing them altogether, because she did love them and wanted to continue those relationships. She had to look at those parts of herself that were activated, older parts of herself that were activated by spending time with them, and find ways to either change them or make peace with them. It helped to at least go through the mental exercise of contemplating not seeing them for an extended period, because that helped to reveal, by contrast, those reasons that she wanted to continue seeing them. And by focusing on those reasons to continue, she was able to tap into better feelings, focus on them, and expand upon them, grow them. And maybe before they were always there, but through this exercise, she was able to make them more present in each moment. Also, through the exercise of contemplating the cessation of certain gatherings, certain meetings, she was able to identify those things, those feelings, those thoughts that she would be focusing on if she did so. And by identifying those, she was able to get back to them more quickly after coming together with those people. And so the recovery time grew shorter and shorter. It's not that she doesn't still have some challenges at times in finding those feelings, because we all grow, we all change, we all have new thoughts, new feelings, new areas of focus that we wish to embark upon, expand, learn. And each time any one person shifts a little bit, it shifts the whole dynamic of those relationships that they have as well. We're always growing, whether we do so intentionally or not. But by doing so intentionally, there can be much more joy in those journeys. We thank you so much for joining us, beloveds. Namaste. That was a bit of a long one, so I thank you for watching and sharing this message, subscribing either on YouTube or signing up on my website, amycarynjohnson.com. Look for the spelling in the name of my channel. And also on YouTube, please click the bell button to be notified when new videos come out so you don't lose track. I've got at least one video often coming out each week, often two as well. So also for the rest of the year, 2021, I do have 50% off of all my readings, astrological readings, as well as channeled messages for different lengths of time with the code YES, Y-E-S. And so go to my website, amycarynjohnson.com, and check those out and take advantage of that deal while you can. If you're wondering what the new year may bring, that's one of the readings I also offer. And now the second half of the poem. Above ground, yews show us the bridge of life, the connections that mean nothing dies, the humility needed in order to start anew, where old paths are buried and fresh ones rise.